Hello, world travelers. Welcome back to Travel Vibes, your reliable space where we share the best tricks to fly calmly and without setbacks. Whether you're planning your first international adventure as a student, living the nomadic lifestyle with just a backpack, or you're an experienced globetrotter checking another destination off your dream list, we all want the same thing, for the trip to be as seamless as possible. But tell me something. Have you ever seen your carry-on luggage disappear down the boarding carousel just before you remembered your medications were there? The crew smiles kindly, the line moves forward, but the alarm begins to go off in your head. What if I need them mid-flight? What if that suitcase never shows up again? Don't worry, you're not the only one. In today's video we are going to explore everything you need to know to pack your medications correctly in 2025. And if what we share helps you, don't forget to subscribe. Every week we bring practical tips and advice so that you can travel better with the help of experts, here at Travel Vibes. Does the TSA really care about your medications? Well, now that we've all identified that little moment of panic, let's put things on the table. The TSA is not there to take away your medications. In reality, they usually act with a lot of common sense, as long as you know how to handle their rules. Here's the important thing: if your medications are approved by the FDA, whether pills, creams, liquids or injectables, you can take them with you without a problem. The amount needed for your entire trip is allowed. This includes everything from insulin pens, eye drops, dermatological creams, to gels or ice packs if they need to be kept refrigerated. And yes, all of that applies. Also be aware of over-the-counter medications, such as pain relievers, antihistamines, saline solutions, and other essentials that many travelers in the US, especially older people with chronic illnesses or young people undergoing treatment for ADHD or anxiety, frequently carry with them. But this is where problems can appear. If you carry your medications unlabeled, loose or poorly distributed between different bags, the controls will most likely be delayed. And that is exactly what we are going to see below, the 3 most common mistakes when traveling with medications that complicate the travel of thousands of people every day. The TSA is not the villain of this story, but the truth is that they can become a headache if you don't pack your luggage well. Many travelers, whether they're flying for the first time or fly all the time but rush to pack at the last minute, repeat the same 3 mistakes over and over again. I'm telling you because I see it all the time. Multitasking mothers trying to coordinate snacks with prescriptions. Young professionals on their way to conferences with their pills in the wrong bag. And even retirees heading for a cruise who completely forget about their cardiac medications until it is too late. Mistake number 1. Putting your medications in the carry-on suitcase with wheels may seem like a safe move, right? But be careful with this. More and more airlines are asking that this type of luggage be checked at the gate just before boarding the plane. What does that mean? That if your medications are there, they can be out of reach until you land and retrieve your suitcase on the conveyor belt. If everything goes well, great, but if not, it's a problem. Mistake number 2. Mix your remedies with personal hygiene items. The cream, shampoo, and toothpaste go in the 311 type liquid bag, as dictated by the TSA. But your medications should go separately, in their own transparent bag. Because this way you prevent agents from wasting time searching through your things or questioning whether that little bottle is eye drops or something more delicate. Mistake number 3. Carrying pills without labels, without a prescription on hand, without any proof of what is what. Technically you can use a pill box, but if you have controlled medications such as Adderall, anxiolytics, or sleeping pills, it is ideal that they go in their original container. You can take a photo of the label just in case, and better yet, bring a note from the doctor. A few minutes of preparation before traveling can save you hours of stress at security checkpoints. Now yes, let's put together a travel kit accordingly. You already know what not to do. Now let's get down to what's important: how to put together an ideal travel kit for 2025. This isn't just for people with complex medical treatments. It doesn't matter if you're a college student on anxiety medication, a dad who carries an EpiPen just in case, or a retiree managing his diabetes. This little bag can make a big difference. Start with a clear plastic bag with a closure, Ziploc type or similar, travel toiletry size. This first aid kit should go in your personal item, the one you keep under the seat in front of you. Inside, place the original bottles of your medications. Your pillbox, if you use it. A printed list indicating what you take, how often, and in what dosage. A doctor's note, as a precaution. A digital copy of that information on your cell phone. If any of your medications need to be kept cold, include frozen gel packs, that are solid at the time of checkup. Don't forget important devices like inhalers, insulin pens, or CPAP parts. And a final piece of advice, always carry extra doses to cover between 5 and 7 more days. You never know when there may be delays or unforeseen events, especially on flights within the United States. In the next segment, I show you how to get through TSA screening quickly and hassle-free using this kit. 4. How to get through TSA with medications without stress or delays. You have your first aid kit prepared, now comes the critical part, the security check at the airport. It doesn't matter if it's your first flight to college, if you travel often for work, or you're simply going to visit your family, what you do in those minutes in front of the TSA can totally change your experience. The key is in the attitude, approach with confidence and transparency. The agents are not there to give you a hard time, but to make sure everything is in order. Before you put your bag on the treadmill, say something simple like, "I have liquids and medical devices in this bag." Then, take out your first aid kit and your 311 bag of liquids, and put them on a separate tray. Don't hide anything or try to minimize what you carry. That only lengthens the process and may raise more questions. Do you use a pacemaker, insulin pump or other medical device? Inform him at the beginning. Most agents are understanding, but they have to follow specific protocols. If something raises doubts, keep calm, politely ask to speak to a supervisor and show your prescription, doctor's note or cell phone records. Remember, you have the right to travel with everything that is medically necessary. Knowing it gives you security and power. 5. Go digital, the secret advantage for traveling in 2025. If you're like many travelers today, practical, time poor, and very digital, this tip can make your entire trip flow much better, especially if you go abroad. Before each international flight, download the My TSA app. It's free, fast, and allows you to check if that weird patch, cream, or gel you're using is allowed. Visit the official TSA website and its section, "Can I wear this?" It is ideal for those dubious products such as cooling gels, hormonal patches or therapeutic sprays. Do you have a last-minute question? I private messaged the TSA on Twitter or Facebook. They respond super fast, sometimes in minutes. But here comes the game changer. Install an eSIM, digital SIM card, before leaving the country. That gives you instant mobile data you barely land. If foreign customs questions any of your medications, don't panic. You search for the name of the drug on Google, show the doctor's note in another language or even call your doctor directly. Zero stress. Zero surprises. Maximum preparation. 6. Medications that can cause problems, even if they are legal in your country. This is the awkward but crucial moment. Because not all medications that are legal in your state or country are safe to fly, much less to enter another. First example, marijuana. Even if you have a prescription and it is completely legal where you live, do not take it on a plane. The TSA responds to federal laws, and at the federal level in the U.S., marijuana is still classified as a Schedule I drug. This includes flower, edibles, and yes, vaporizers too. None of this is allowed, neither in hand luggage nor in checked luggage. Second point, CBD oil. You see it everywhere, pharmacies, supermarkets, gas stations, but there is a catch. If the product contains more than 0.3% THC, it is illegal under federal law. And yes, security agents can check that. Many times they come disguised as relaxing drops or natural oils, but if you don't know exactly what the product has, it is better to leave it out of your bag. Quick summary. If you are not 100% sure of the ingredients, if you do not have clear documentation, don't take it. And now comes something even more delicate. 7. Why some drugs are okay in the US, but illegal abroad. Do you think the TSA rules are confusing? Wait until you cross a border. As soon as you leave the US, laws change dramatically, and a common medication can become a serious legal problem. Real examples that surprised many travelers. Japan bans anything containing pseudoephedrine, such as Sudafed decongestants. Singapore, even one Ambien pill or anything with codeine can lead to significant fines or legal problems. United Arab Emirates, ADHD medications like Adderall are considered narcotics. Thailand, common anti-anxiety medications require prior government approval before landing. And be careful, it is not necessary to enter the country. Making a stopover or transiting through the airport may already be a reason for inspection. What can you do to avoid problems? Visit the website of the embassy or consulate of the country you are going to visit, or where you are stopping over. I translated your medication list, if necessary. Ask your doctor for a brief letter explaining each medication and its use. Bring your digitalized documentation, on your cell phone or in the cloud, ready to show. Being proactive isn't just smart. It can literally save your trip. Personalized help for those traveling with medications. Do you feel nervous or insecure when traveling with medications? There is a free service in the US that you may not have known about, and it can completely change your experience at the airport. It's called TSA Cares. This program is designed especially for those who need a little extra support when going through security checks. Not everyone feels comfortable going through airport checkpoints, and that's completely understandable, especially if you're carrying medical supplies, using special devices, or simply feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you are an older person who needs more time to move around, a parent traveling alone with a child with special needs, or someone who experiences anxiety in crowded places. For all those cases, TSA Cares is there. The process is simple, you just have to contact them at least 72 hours before your flight, by phone or email, and explain what kind of help you might need. It could be assistance moving around, more time to get organized, or someone to help you explain your medications to officers. From that contact, you are assigned to a passenger support specialist who accompanies you during the screening process, calmly explaining everything to you and, if necessary, speaking directly with security personnel on your behalf. The best thing is that you do not need to present a medical certificate or have an obvious disability. You just need to ask for help. It doesn't matter if you are 27 or 77 years old. If you have ever thought, I wish someone could give me a hand with this, now you know that it is possible. What if things don't go as you expected? The truth is that, no matter how planned everything is, unforeseen events can always arise. From executives traveling on business to grandparents visiting their grandchildren, anyone can face unexpected situations on a trip. Imagine that a TSA agent is in a hurry and searches your bag even though it is clearly labeled. Or that the ice in your cooler melts and the medications look suspicious. Or maybe your itinerary, which seemed perfect, suddenly falls apart. What can you do in those moments? Situation 1. The TSA tells you that you cannot carry your medications. First, stay calm. This is not the time to argue. I politely ask to speak to a supervisor. Show a doctor's note, printed prescription, or open the My TSA app or the official Can I Bring to support your position. Speaking confidently, but without confrontation, can make all the difference. Situation 2. You are abroad and your medications are lost, delayed, or withheld. This is where your digital preparation is key. Contact your doctor, review your translated medication list, and find the nearest clinic or pharmacy where they can help you in your language. It is not the ideal situation, but you can solve it if you have the necessary tools. Situation 3. Your flight is cancelled and you are stranded for several days. That is why it is always advisable to carry an extra supply of your medications for between 5 and 7 days. A small detail that can avoid major complications. Your final checklist to pack medications like an expert. We've already gone over a lot, but now it's time to get everything in order with a handy checklist to make sure you're fully prepared before you head out. Your personal bag should have a clear, zippered bag where you keep all your essential medications. I included a printed list of your recipes, in clear, legible handwriting. Add a medical note briefly explaining your treatment. Save digital copies, photos or PDFs, on your cell phone or in the cloud. If your medications require cold, bring approved frozen gel packs. Have quick access to useful tools such as the My TSA app, your eSIM plan, and a digital copy of your medications in Google Docs or similar. And also remember what not to do. Do not put medications in the suitcase that you are going to ship. Do not mix them with toiletries. Do not carry products with CBD or marijuana without first checking the laws of the destination. Don't assume that everything will be allowed, research first if your medication is legal where you are traveling. Travel prepared, travel in peace. You are ready. You have all the essentials at hand, your documents organized and, most importantly, the right attitude. That's much more than traveling, that's traveling with confidence. In a world where flights are delayed, airports change and plans can fall apart at any moment, what you already have covered is the most important thing, your health and your peace of mind. So close your bag with intention, take a deep breath and go out to find that experience you've been waiting for. Because when you're at 30,000 feet, the best thing is not just to be prepared, but to feel in control. See you in the next one. Have a good trip. 11 reasons why more and more travelers are being denied boarding before their flight in 2025. Imagine this scene, you're all set for your dream vacation. Your bags are packed, you've cleared security, and you're standing at the gate. You can see your plane waiting for you through the window. But just as you approach, the airline agent looks at you and says, "You can't board." In 2025, it's becoming increasingly common for passengers to be turned away at the gate, and some of the reasons are truly surprising. In this video, I'll reveal 11 unexpected reasons why you might be denied boarding, and, most importantly, how to prevent it from happening to you. Trust me, number 11 could ruin your entire trip, and it's happening more often than you think. Let's start with the first one. Reason 1. Your carry-on doesn't meet size requirements, and you refuse to check it. Airlines are enforcing stricter rules than ever regarding carry-on luggage sizes. Even if you're convinced your bag fits in the overhead bin, many airlines now have measuring devices at the gate, and they're using them without exceptions. If your bag fails the test, you may be asked to check it right before boarding. And if you refuse, they can deny you access to the plane. This has already happened to passengers carrying delicate items, essential medications, and even musical instruments. A renowned international violinist once had to choose between checking her priceless 200-year-old violin, or missing her flight. Harsh, right? Bottom line, arguing with gate agents over your bag is a bad idea. Those battles are almost never won. Reason 2, you arrived on time. But the gate was already closed. This is a common mistake. Many travelers assume the flight time is the same as the boarding cutoff. In reality, airlines usually close the gate at least 15 minutes before takeoff. And lately, Some are shutting it even earlier, especially if all passengers are already checked in. You could be relaxing at an airport cafe, thinking you have plenty of time, and suddenly, surprise, the gate is no longer open. Once it's closed, it doesn't matter how fast you run or how much you beg. They won't reopen it. I've seen people miss their flights just steps away from the gate, their names echoing over the loudspeakers, only to arrive and find an empty boarding area. So remember. The time you think is on time. Move it earlier. Get there sooner. Much sooner. Reason 3, the name on your ticket doesn't match your ID. It might seem like a small detail, until it's the reason you're denied boarding. If the name on your reservation doesn't exactly match your official ID or passport, you won't be allowed on the plane. It's that simple. Airlines follow strict security protocols, and even a nickname or a single misspelled letter can become a major hurdle. An extreme example. Someone once booked a ticket for their friend as a joke under the name, Fluffy McKittens. It seemed funny, until it nearly ruined their entire trip. Moral of the story, double-check your details when booking. Use your full legal name and ensure it matches your ID. And if you spot an error, fix it in advance. Yes, there might be a fee, but it's better than being stranded. Reason 4, you missed the check-in deadline. Many assume arriving at the airport on time is enough. Spoiler, it's not. If you don't check in, or drop off your luggage, before the cutoff time, you won't be allowed through security. This window usually closes 30 to 60 minutes before departure, and at large airports, long lines can sabotage you. The worst part? Some airlines are quietly shrinking these deadlines, especially for counter check-ins versus online. Key tip, check in online whenever possible, and verify your airline's cutoff times. Don't assume they're the same across the board. Reason 5, you refused facial recognition at boarding. More airports are rolling out sci-fi style boarding systems. Instead of scanning your pass, a camera scans your face and matches it to your ID. It's fast, efficient, and not without controversy. Some travelers reject it for privacy reasons. But beware, on certain international flights, especially if you're not a citizen of the departure country, you can't opt out. Even if manual checks are offered, the process might take so long you'll miss your flight. So, the future is here, and it's probably scanning your face. What do you think? Does this feel secure, or do you prefer the old school way? Reason 6, you were rude or aggressive with staff. It sounds exaggerated, but it's not. A snarky comment or bad attitude toward airline staff can cost you your flight. Gate agents have the authority to deny boarding if they deem you disruptive or potentially problematic mid-flight. And this decision is non-negotiable. Often made in seconds, with no room for appeal. So, no matter how frustrated you are, take a deep breath and stay calm. A single moment of attitude can backfire badly. Sometimes, it doesn't even take yelling or insults. A sarcastic tone, a defiant glare, or a heated argument over a seat, that's enough to get you bumped from the boarding list. And it doesn't matter if you were right in your complaint. One passenger was denied for raising their voice over baggage fees. Another was pulled aside just for mocking staff during check-in. Why? Crews are trained to spot potential conflicts before they escalate, and they'd rather avoid mid-air drama. Pro tip that could save your trip. Stay relaxed, be polite, and treat staff with respect. Sometimes, a smile is worth more than the ticket in your hand. Reason 7, you were on an overbooked flight. Now for the most frustrating scenario of all, you could do everything right, and still get left behind. Why? Because the airline sold more tickets than seats available. This happens when airlines gamble that some passengers won't show up, but if everyone does, someone gets bumped. In these cases, they first ask for volunteers, offering cash, vouchers, or free flights. If no one takes the deal, they start selecting passengers. And no, it's not random. Airlines prioritize based on factors like ticket class, check-in time, or frequent flyer status. How to reduce your risk. Join the loyalty program, even if you only fly once a year. Check in as early as possible. Avoid basic economy tickets, they're the first to be bumped. Reason 8, your odor caused complaints. Yes, this is awkward, but it happens more often than you'd think. If airport staff or crew decide your smell, whether from body odor, strong perfume, cigarettes, oils, or other sources, could disturb passengers, they can deny you boarding. This is to protect others' comfort in the confined space of a plane. Here's the tricky part. There's no universal rule. It's entirely subjective, based on staff judgment or passenger complaints. Pro tip: before heading to the airport, ensure you're clean, fresh, and avoiding heavy scents. Better to smell neutral than miss your flight over something preventable. Reason 9, you didn't have the correct or valid documentation. Having a document doesn't mean it's the right one. This applies to both international and domestic flights. If your passport is expired, damaged, lacks blank pages, or doesn't meet your destination's requirements, you might be grounded. Some countries demand passports valid for 6+ months beyond your arrival date, not departure. Others require space for stamps/visas. Tears, water damage, or illegible text. The airline may deem it invalid. Even domestic flights can snag you if ID laws change, e.g., biometric rules. Bottom line. Before flying, check not just if you have your documents, but whether they meet every requirement for your destination. Key takeaways. Overbooking isn't random, protect yourself with early check-in and smart ticket choices. Smell matters, what's normal to you might offend others in tight spaces. Documents expire, tear, or fail silently, inspect them like your trip depends on it, because it does. Reason 10, you bought a ticket with a system glitch. And never noticed. This sounds like a nightmare, but it happens. You found that dream flight at an unbelievable price, got the email confirmation, and everything seemed perfect. Then you arrive at the airport, and they tell you you're not in the system. Or worse, your flight was cancelled, without anyone notifying you. This occurs more often than you'd think. Common causes. Your payment didn't process correctly. Your card was declined, and you missed the alert. You booked connecting flights separately, and the system didn't link them. Third-party booking sites sometimes fail to sync with airline systems. Pro tip. Double-check your booking directly with the airline at least 48 hours before departure. Save screenshots of your purchase and confirmation email. If a deal seems too good to be true, it might be. Reason 11, you're on a watch list. And didn't know. This is the most unsettling scenario of all. You check in, everything seems fine, then at the last second, an agent pulls you aside and says you can't board, with no explanation. Sometimes, it's because you've been wrongly flagged due to a name similar to someone with security issues. A minor past incident, even a misunderstanding. A system error that tagged you by accident. Yes, this is real. People have missed weddings, funerals, and family trips over bureaucratic mistakes. One woman discovered she was barred from flying on her way to her sister's wedding. It took weeks to clear her name, but by then, it was too late. How to protect yourself, as much as possible. Always stay calm and cooperative on board. Never joke about security, weapons, or threats, even sarcastically. If you've ever had a conflict with an airline, call ahead to confirm your status. Because once you're at the gate, there's no fixing it. Final thoughts. These are the 11 reasons more travelers are being grounded in 2025. Did any surprise you? Have you experienced something similar? Drop a comment below. And if this helped you prepare for smoother travels, hit like and subscribe for more no-drama travel tips. Safe flights.